Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. I would just like to really quickly say thank you so much for your support so far, because I'm quite clearly now famous. Please let me explain. So I received an email this past week from a lovely gentleman who called Morgan, otherwise known as the Alt Key Project. He's a producer. He's made his first, I believe, his first VST. He watched my sidechain video about the 4 free the best sidechain videos on the market for free. He said he really enjoyed it and he wanted me to review his plugin. His plugin is called AB-C. It's not a free plugin, it's paid, but he sent it to me and asked me to if I would do a review. So that's what this video is about. So thank you guys. I'm now famous. This is absolutely not where I was intending the channel to go, but here we are. So let's get started. Okay guys, so full disclosure here. First of all, this is a full version of the product that I got for free. I'm not being paid for this, so my thoughts of this are my own, and they're in no way influenced by the developer. So this is going to be a legitimate review here from myself. So I've also been given a discount code by the developer, which is take the price down to around about $5 or £5, depending whereabouts in the world you are purchasing from. I'll put the discount code in the text at the bottom of this video. And that code is live until the 12th of April, which gives you about 10 days. It's 12th of April 2022. It gives you about 10 days to check it out and make your mind up if it's worth $5 or not. So the plugin is from I may have said before, but I'll say again, it's from a guy called Alt Key Project, I should say, and it's called ABC. I will also include below a link to a tutorial video that the developer Morgan did, just to show the full range of features. I'm going to be concentrating on the plugin from a sidechain perspective. Sidechain is one of the main things that this plugin does, and obviously sidechain is something that I'm always looking for better ways to make things work from a sidechain perspective. So it's definitely a subject that I know a fair amount about, and you know, it's my most popular video was my sidechain video as well. So it's, you know, maybe this one will be just as popular. Let's wait and see. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the plugin. I'm going to add it to my lead. And I'm going to add it to the end of the lead channel, lead mixer bus. So if I just type in it's AB-C, there we go. Oh, it's VST free and it's 64-bit, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? So this is the plugin. As you can see, it's got quite a retro vibe going on with the old background, a bit of synthwave kind of style in the background with the neon lights and everything. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that in my preliminary investigations I found out about this plugin is quite strange, and that is, you can resize this. This GUI is resizable, so you've got all your options here. But if you notice, the smaller you make it, some of the features actually disappear. So if you make this the smallest setting possible, you cannot access some of the features to the left, right, and to the top. So this is what, if I add another version of the plugin, it will really kind of give you a perspective on this. So if I make this one the smallest version, and this is the 100% the standard version, but you're missing pretty much all of these at the top. You output fade on the right, output there, mix button. You can't even hit the sidechain button, which is very important, which we'll go through that in a minute. And then also the same thing happens if you make it even bigger. So if I pump this up to 170%, right, the first thing I want to show you here is look at the amount of wasted screen space. Look at the space between the distance between the actual plugin parameters and the edge of the screen. That's a huge amount of wasted screen real estate. And in fact, if you scroll all the way over, you'll see even the background image stops here, and it kind of just becomes black, just a black screen. So It's really badly done in terms of the GUI. The buttons are bigger, the interface is bigger. You can tell just by kind of putting these two. This is the 100% version here, the original size. So the buttons are bigger, but it's just not very well implemented. So that's definitely something that I think the developer should be looking to fix in other kind of in future updates. But I mean, it's not really going to stop me from the plugin from doing a good job at sidechaining, but it is something that I definitely spotted that I think is an easy place to start for improvements. Okay, so now we've covered the GUI issues. Let's get started actually looking at the plugin itself. So you can see here a number of features. You've got an A and a B, which is kind of like the main one. So basically, essentially what this does is, using the input knob here, it lets you cross between mix A and mix B. So when this comes to sidechaining, essentially what that means is, instead of using, say, like a volume automation like VolumeShaper, Cableguys VolumeShaper, or Nicky Romero Kick, for example, you can kind of go between, let's just say, this state, which is where there's no real filter applied, to this state. So and it filters between the two. So instead of it going like this, imagine it instead going, the way I imagine it works is down from here, because it's going from a state of potentially 0% on this mix knob to 100%. So instead of the filter isn't actually moving technically like it would if he was using some other type of sidechainers. So the filter isn't actually moving. It's just going from one state, which is this one, which is no low cut, to this one. So that's kind of how that does it. And obviously that works via sidechaining. So in order to get sidechaining switched on, you have to click this button here. I'll remove the other instance there, and I'm going to this on the lead. So I want to sidechain this to the kick. So main kick is already sidechained to the lead synth. So we'll switch it off first of all. Let me just give you an example of what it is I am sidechaining to. So this is a project, and the lead is this thing here. So on its own, it sounds something like this. And then if I put in context of the rest of the track, it sounds a little bit like this. So what we're going to be sidechaining is that lead. So let's get started, shall we? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just gonna do just a kick in the lead, because everything else it's just noise, really, isn't it? So I'll remove all of the send effects that I've already got on. So literally all we should hear now is the lead and the kick. Oh, have I left some? Have I left some delay on there? I have. All right, I'm gonna switch that off. Okay, so let's get this switched on. Let's try to get some sidechain done on this lead. So just let me just highlight a section here where it's like this. But it's just a kick and the lead, so we can really focus in on those sounds. Let me open up the ABC, and I'm going to select a sidechain filter control. Okay, and let's see if we can get this working. I'm going to turn this up so I can really hear it. if you look at the input and these two mix features here on the A and the B, that tells you as it's kind of flipping between A, which is no change, and B, which is just got a low cut up to about we'll just take it down to something a bit more reasonable, so we'll do 250. Okay, let's see if we can hear the difference with this. Will A be the actual plugin itself? So let's have a listen. It might be best actually if we also put, let's just say I used to stop all these low cuts that I've already got. I'll put them onto about 50. Don't want to make it too easy, do I? So I'll do those, and then I will put on here a span so we can just kind of see the effect that the plugin is having, hopefully, on the low end. So this is it without the without any kind of sidechain. Now we'll add that in. We'll see if there's any difference. Okay, not a great deal. So let's pull this up to about 600. Okay, I definitely think that makes a difference. Now let's listen to this in conjunction with the whole mix. You can hear the difference it's making. I think that's quite clear now. It does work, basically, in a nutshell, is what I'm trying to get out here. The question is this better than traditional methods? So, for example, as I mentioned earlier, you have the VolumeShaper method, which if I go here, let's do VolumeShaper, which is one of my preferable ones. It's my favorite personally for channel sidechaining. So I mean, we could just make a few changes here. This is what a kind of a traditional sidechain might sound like for this kind of thing. Just a really standard volume automation. So just to kind of duck the kick, I'm going to apply this against all frequencies. So let's see if I want this again. Oh, of course I want this 1 to 4. So let's have a listen, see if it's better or worse. I actually think that ABC comes up trumps and sounds a little smoother on this one. Now what I would say is the issue that it does have for me is based purely on the genre of music I like to make. You know, it's very forced floor and there are occasional changes in drum patterns. So for me, sidechaining something to the kick isn't really a good idea, because the second a kind of drum roll starts, or you know, instead of it going do do do, we go do 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 or whatever, you know, any kind of deviation from the 4th to the floor pattern will cause a change in the sidechaining, which I may not necessarily want, which could cause problems. It wouldn't even cause problems, it just wouldn't sound coherent, in my opinion. That's just me, you know. So I would, you know, I haven't sidechained anything to a kick in at least 5 years, at least, maybe probably even more than that. But I know there are people out there that do. So I mean, when Morgan wrote to me, he did explain that this VST was probably most suited to EDM style musics, you know, kind of stuff, where they, you know, the riffs and the melodies are not the same as they are in kind of hard trance, so they probably this thing would be a lot more useful. Now, while I would agree with that, that doesn't change the fact that it's not necessarily going to work for my style. However, where I think this plugin would work for me is at sends, so FX sends. So funnily enough, I have a FX send that is working for this lead at the moment. We've got a long reverb, we've got a short reverb, and we've got a delay. All 3 of these are sending to an instrument send as well, but that is actually where the lead is going. So I'm just going to really quickly grab another channel. We'll call this FX bus. I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to send that to the lead, and all of the FX sends I'm going to send to one bus, and I'm just going to really quickly, I'm going to grab this save preset as, I'm going to stick that here. So basically what that means is that now all of these will be going through this sidechained sidechain basically. So I now need to make sure the kick is going, instead of going there, I want it to sidechain to this track, and I can remove that sidechain. So now all of these FX essentially being sidechained to the kick, and I can now remove this as well. So let's just see what the implications of that is. So this is the same thing. So let's start off with just start off with that. Let's go. I think there's definitely a difference there, and that's probably how I would use this plugin for the most part. Is sidechaining this kind of stuff. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't put it against the kick direct through the instrument, like with the delays and stuff. That's stuff that is a lot more, for me, something I'm much more likely to sidechain to a kick. Okay, so that's pretty much my quick look at this plugin. As I said, it's available for about £5 until April the 12th. So yeah, go grab it. It's $5. I'm sure I haven't really touched the surface because there's you know, it does seem to be quite versatile. It's definitely a whole different take on the whole kind of sidechaining method. So I'm sure you can get some very much more interesting results than the ones that I've just gotten. So yeah, go on, grab it. It's $5 for the next 10 days, 11 days. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think it's worth $5. And yeah, if anyone else has any free VSTs they'd like to send my way, by all means, please. Free is, after all, my favorite price. So again, thank you very much for watching, for your time, for your support, and I hope to see you all again very soon.